What's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another player interview. This time I've got a professional deck builder from Crosswell TCG, Larry Giang. What's up, Larry?
What up, what up? When did I get a title of professional?
I don't know. You just build like some of the craziest decks we see on the channel, and people really enjoy them. How does it feel to be a Crosswell TCG celebrity?
I don't know.
Are you thinking, like, how do I answer this without cussing?
A little bit, you know? We got to keep it PG-13 or something, you know?
Anyways, so correct me if I'm wrong, but, you know, we came, so this is a blue-yellow mid-range deck. Would you agree?
Yes.
So,
you know, mid-range being 4, 5, 6, you know, 6 being hopefully you win by then. If not, then
you might cry a little bit.
You might have a few problems, you know.
Yeah, so if you guys checked out the Krillin deck list I posted a couple days ago, it's somewhat of a similar build. There's a lot of different card choices, but it's pretty much similar in what the deck tries to do. So basically, and correct me if I'm wrong at any point of this, me and Larry came up with kind of this main deck conception by saying, okay, we're going to take basically Hercule's sideboard, which is like a lot of yellow cards, basically to play Crusher Ball, because Crusher Ball is really, really good right now. And we're going to implement that into a main deck. And we're going to see like what some of the best leaders to play with that main deck are. So like we wanted to play a main deck yellow engine, mostly to play Crusher Ball, because most of the bomb cards in the format right now are really reliant on attacking. So we have like the Demigrass Secret Rare, U7 Beerus, Dragon Fist. A lot of these cards need to attack to get their effects off. So we put those in their main decks, and
Victory Strike. Victory Strike's a huge one.
Super good against Victory Strike. So me and Larry went down two different roads of leaders. I went with Krillin. You can check out that deck profile on the channel. And Larry went with the Cell Leader. So why'd you go with the Cell Leader, Larry?
So, the theory was like the best unawakened leader right now, arguably, was Harudegarn. Like, yeah, Hercule is supposedly the best leader, but you know, it doesn't really do anything different on the awakened, unawakened side. You know, it's just combo draw card. Harudegarn's actually like swing, discard card, draw 2, so you cycle through a lot of cards.
Yep.
So my idea was like, okay, if that is arguably one of the best, you know, leader effects, what else does that? And it's like, okay, me and you went through the list. Is like, Cell does that on the backside. You know, same thing as Universe 11. I mean, U7 Frieza, not 11, sorry.
Universe 17.
You know, Universe 35. Same thing. It's like, you know, you dig 2 cards every turn. Arguably free. You +1.
Yep.
Don't have to swing. Don't have to give your opponent an advantage. You know, and it cycles through a lot of cards. One of the perks of Harudegarn, except for, you know, when you awaken Harudegarn, you don't have that. So then the thing with Cell was, and then like the one I wanted to look at was awaken draw 2 leaders, because Xenobun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, awaken untap 2 is like, okay, you have a high tempo turn, or is it with Hercule being huge right now? It's like, okay, now it seems to be more reliant on a advantage game compared, because Xenobun, you know, it's like, okay, I don't need a high tempo turn, it's just I out advantage you. So draw 2 leader, and then it works really well with Crusher Ball because of, you know, his awakened, you know, send 2 under him to just pop any threat, you know.
Yep.
Secret Rare Demigra, Crusher Ball, gone. No problem.
Yeah.
You did your turn, you tapped out, I don't care. Gone. Victory Strike, gone. Like,
yeah, the leader's always just been a really good generic leader. Like in set 2, a lot of people were just playing like green, red, good stuff, even, and not necessarily even the Cell Chain, because it was just a really good, like, kind of generic utility leader. And I tried to explain this in several videos, and I feel like my words just get jumbled all the time. So with Cell, right, you don't gain any advantage on the front side through the leader at least, and you never really are using the effect to pop low cost things. So, but you really want to awaken by turn 2, turn 3 the latest. It's because a lot of these leaders that gain advantage on the front side, they you can make up for that by, if you awaken on turn 2 or 3, you draw those 2 cards back, so you at least make up for not getting advantage on the front side. I hope that makes sense, because I try to explain this in a lot of videos and I feel like it might not always come across clear. So did I explain that right?
Yeah, like, I know what you're saying. We've talked about it and discussed it. It's just basic math. You know, you say you're playing Cell against Jackie Chun. You go first, you don't gain advantage. They go first, they +1 when they swing at you. And then if you can awaken on turn 2, Whether it's like, you turn one summon Bardock, that's not a leader plus. That's just straight Bardock plus that has nothing to do with your leader plussing.
Yep.
And then it's like turn 2, awaken, draw 2, and then you draw 2 on the backside with your cell effect or your leader effect. Yep. You +1, and now you're at the same like advantage that their swing draw 1 leader is doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just basic math. You might, if you do it on turn 3, the only thing that will make up the advantage may be the fact that you awaken draw 2. At that point, you might be like at a -1, but at that point, you're digging 2 cards every turn compared to him, drawing a card every turn. But he can't cycle out dead cards like turn 4 or 5 objections or turn 4 or 5 successors. Yeah, things like that.
Yeah.
You very rarely will use the front side leader effect because it's inherently a 1-for-1. The only time I've ever used it is like, say I go second and my opponent leaves an energy up, and it's like, okay, summon Bardock, and I have like multiple Bardocks or multiple ways to self-awaken. The original list did run pan, we cut that out, so it's like if you have multiple Bardocks and it's like swing leader and they go like combo into play Gohan, it's like, okay, that's kind of a big threat.
Yeah.
It happened to me today in the tournament. Like I swung at leader and then bounced back to Bardock, took the double shot to the face next turn between the combo into play Gohan and like leader attack, and then like at this point I'm at 5 lives, so then it's like next turn summon Bardock, swing at lead with Bardock, and then bounce the Bardock back and use the front side effect to just get rid of the Bardock to pop the Gohan anyways, because it's trading a 1 drop for a 3 drop, and the Bardock is like
dead at that point.
Yeah, negligible at that point. And then it's like awaken, draw 2, and then like effect draw 2. So it's like I gained the advantage. So it's like at that point I would see it's like, okay, yeah, it's just that's common to play Gohan. That's like the only time you're gonna pop that early,
Right. Totally, yeah. I mean, it's a super good leader overall. It has generic built-in spot removal, which is really helpful. Like you said, for crush a ball, and then you just blow up the problem. So that's a big thing. So we'll get into the main deck. So 3 Dark Control Demon God Demigra. So I'm gonna read this really quick because it's a card that I don't think a lot of people know what it does. So Dark Overwhelm 4 for 3 energy. We are completely ignoring that effect in this deck. There are not even enough black cards in this deck to summon that with Dark Overwhelm. We're mainly going to use it for its auto. We're going to hard cast this thing for 4 and use it for its auto. When this card attacks, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand, send it to the warp. If that card was a battle card, combo with it in your combo area. So this is a very, very recent development, very recent change to the deck. I'll let Larry kind of explain why we decided to go with this.
So if you look at the deck list as a whole, you have no 4-drop threats. It's like the perk of Zeno button is tap out and then Zeno button, so you can play on curve with no real punishments. We decided on this card beat, and this was like over dinner. It was like we're just thinking, it's like, okay, the main problem with the deck that I've been having is like Vegito.
Yep, dealing with a 4-drop Vegito. Yep.
Vegito 4-drop is like, okay. If you look at the rest of the deck list, it's like there's 2 things that don't have to combo into it to swing over it, and that's Dragon Fist and Princess Speed. Fu Shrouded was added in today also. So it's like the original conception was like, okay, Vegeta / U7 Beerus was, they were interchangeable. We've recently changed it to Princess Speed, and then Dragon Fist are like your only answer to Vegito without comboing, and it's like you're comboing up, they know what you're at, and it's like easy to combo out of it.
Yep.
Like you drop the hand. It's nobody ever wants to drop the hand on like a Vegito.
Right.
So it's a way to kind of put pressure on Vegito, because it's like swing at it, we're tying, hopefully you combo with something in your opponent's hand, and then they either have to combo out of it,
or let the Vegito die,
or let Vegito die. And the Demigra was something that I was interested in. I don't know if you remember when I first started playing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Best card is like, okay, you swing at battle cards. You don't ever swing at the leader with it because you just neg 1 to the opponent. It's like swing at battle card, rip 1.
And a lot of scenarios -2 to your opponent, because like you're gonna swing at them, rip a card out of their hand, and then they're either gonna let the Vegito die, so that's the -2, or they're gonna waste another card in their hand. So at any point, it's basically a -2 to the opponent. And in the late game, when they have to combo to save their life, it's gonna be -2s as well. So theoretically, it seems very good. It's something we do need to test more going forward, though.
Yep.
So
we'll see how that works. I think next weekend we're probably gonna stick with this deck at the States.
Yep. So next up we have the one Future added. So we talked about this card again, like in addition to the Dark Control Demigra. So like a lot of these mono blue mirror matches, whether it's like a Soul Striker mirror, mono blue, or like a Hercule, a lot of turns will just go back and forth where no one does anything. And then like in case of Hercule, it's like when they drop the Demigra, they have big plays. And in other mono blue mirror matches, it's like, okay, nothing's going on. But Future added is like kind of almost a win button. There are some instances where like your opponent can combo out of it if they somewhat played around it, but a lot of times that's going to be like game over. So the deck needed a bit more of like a win button. So I think we decided to throw that in there for that reason, right?
Yep. You know, it's like it's the fact that you look at all these decks that are like, okay, this stops Zeno button on your kill turn.
Yep.
Like,
it's pretty huge.
Unbreakables, not drawing cards, no super combos. Like, you're just generating so much advantage, and then you'll have like 12 cards in hand to dump on the like attack. So it's like, it is a win button, because you know sometimes it's like you drop Dragon Fist, the only out is to negate it, and if they have multiple negates, because you know Whis or coming out Dimensional Magic is, you know, really good negates.
Yep.
That, you know, you need 1 or 0 energies up for. So.
Yep. And then we have a lot of standard stuff: the 4 Zeno button, the 4 Whis Coercion, the 4 Bean, 3 Objection because we're playing a mid-range deck. We want to get to our drops faster. That's actually a change I made to the Krillin deck as well. If any of you guys are playing the Krillin deck currently, I would find space to add the 3 Objections, because that's a really, really good card to get up to your mid-range plays faster. I kind of overlooked it a little too much up to this point. And then the Sneak Attack Vegeta at 3 drop. So I play the 1 drop, the 3 drop Power Charge Bardock. I know you were playing that for a bit. What do you think about this card over the Bardock?
So the reason I was playing the Sneak Attack over the Bardock recently, again, this is the most recent iteration, is your Bardock turn is on 4. Ideally, it's 3 or 4. The problem is your curve involves charging 1 yellow. So if you're dropping Bardock, you're tapping out your yellow, so you don't have Life Crusher balls.
Yep.
So that's why it's like I move more towards a blue engine on the mid to late game. Bardock did generate a lot of advantage, and it was just nice to see like, okay, I'm digging to see what's the most useless card in my hand. So Sneak Attack just seems to be putting more pressure on it, because then, you know, it forces your opponent to combo out of it, or you know, if they don't combo out of it, it's an even out on the damage done.
It's like a pseudo crit.
No.
Larry hates when I say that.
Yes, just stop. It was also paired with the preface that was, you know, that you saw in the gameplay video. It was just mulled ideas over of like possibly getting ready for set 5 for Gogeta, you know, fusion plays. But I think the deck list changes slightly when we get there, and I don't think that it's going to be focused on Gogeta.
For sure, yeah. I mean, it'll probably play the Gogeta 5 drop, but probably not the 7 drop, right?
Yeah, no, we're not fusing into either of them. It'd probably just be hard casting the 5 drop.
Yeah, it probably takes the place of Princess Speed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, why not just spin 2 cards for free on top of Princess Speed, you know? Yeah,
for sure. Like Princess Speed I like a lot because U7 Beerus is very matchup dependent. Like some matchups really good, some matchups it's really poor. So Princess Speed, we came to the conclusion is just kind of better in general. And for Dragon Fist, I think that's a lot. Like I can kind of see dropping Dragon Fist at 3 and maybe adding the second Shrouded. What do you think about that? You think 4 is a lot, or?
Yes and no.
Yeah, I know you were telling me like for some reason you barely see them, which makes no sense because like almost every game you're on the verge of decking out.
So like on the verge of, yes, I'm on the verge of decking out, but then it's like if I see it early game, it's an easy charge.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then it's also like, okay, if it's in my hand on turn 3, I'm gonna, you know, put it under my leader to draw 2 cards. So then it's like it's like your main win condition. So then it's, to me, it's just like, okay, so might as well max out on it. If it's a dead draw, throw it away and draw 2 cards off of it.
Yeah.
I could see bumping Fu Shrouded, but then it's like, I never want to get put into a situation where it's like, crap, I'm out of Dragon Fist.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, you're not playing. Well, you are playing a decent amount of 10k bumps, but it's like you're not playing the overround plays, so you're not playing like 10k the Scientist Foods or Massins or 10k bumps. So it's like I can see getting away with it. If anything, it's a blue energy that you're going to charge because you're playing Dino Button.
Yeah.
So that's why I like playing, you know, 4 of it, because then it's also, you know, it answers that Vegito problem, or it answers big bombs that have barrier.
That's true, and dropping multiple Dragon Fists does not really seem bad. So then we got the Trunk Super combo. This super combo sees almost like no play, and I'm pretty stoked that it's in the deck. Then we got 4 Unbreakables, 4 Successors, 4 Bardox, and 2 Videl. We'll skip over Crusher Ball for now, just to talk about that kind of swap engine. So people have questioned a lot that there's no like Goten to swap into, or nothing really for Bardock to swap into, and Videl is actually a very new inclusion. So I like Videl because it can actually make Vegeta a 20k swinger at something like a Vegito, which is cool, and obviously it just boosts anything else and draws you cards. But I think the main utility of the Bardock is just to awaken yourself, and then like you just throw them under cell to draw more cards. So I know Carrying Mother Videl needs to be tested more, but what do you think about potentially adding in more things to swap into? Maybe like a 15k beater just to get more swings in, or like maybe Goten to search more cards. What do you think about that?
I like Carrying Mother Videl is mainly because it can stick around, especially if you have like Crusher Ball on top of it. So it sticks around, hopefully gains more advantage. Goten I see digging, but then it's also like, realistically, you've seen the games I've played. We're on the brink of decking out half the time. Videl is in there because it also does have a power boost. I mean, I understand where Goten can see more, but draw 1, boost by 5k.
Yeah, the 5k boost is very relevant.
Like, yeah, you can swing and see more 3 cards, but then like you can't combo with the Goten. Either way, you're still netting the same advantage.
Yeah,
which is a +1.
Yeah, if you got a combo card into it, it's gonna be realistically not a plus.
Yeah, so it's like, so Goten swing +1, right?
Yeah.
10k, you know, on the mid-late game or mid-game, you have to combo into a leader if they're awakened.
Yep.
Unless you're playing Hercule, and then that's just terrible if you're not comboing into that with a Goten, because they're just gonna combo, draw free cards, and cycle for free.
Yep.
So Goten inherently +1. Can't combo into the lead like any other swing, so it's not, you know, it is a 5k bump, but it's not comboed. Videl is still a +1, and then still gives a 5k bump.
Yeah.
The argument is you see more cards with Goten, but then the other end of it is you draw a lot of freaking cards in this deck.
Yeah, I find Goten to be very inconsequential, like in non-storm decks. Like you said, it's not good mid to late game because it just doesn't put enough pressure on an awakened leader, and you have to combo up to it. And Carrying Mother Videl, like it's almost like a pseudo blocker in some scenarios, because any swing they're going to dedicate to Videl is not being hit on your leader or on your other threats. So it's a really good card. I think I like the card a lot. So, and then the final card of the deck, we have the 4 Crusher Ball. So me and you have come to the conclusion this is like one of the best cards in the format. Want to give us a little bit of an explanation as to why?
Crusher Ball solves a lot of problems. We came up with this on our drive back from Atlantic City. It was just like
Crusher Ball answers all.
Crusher Ball. Oh, Demigra has to swing. Yeah, you just Crusher Ball it and then blow up the threat.
Yep.
Whether it's through Cell, originally when I was playing Announcer that weekend, it was Nam, Double Chop Nam, where you could Crusher Ball and then Double Chop Nam Demigra, Double Chop Nam Beerus. It puts a lot of threatening cards in non-threatening positions.
Yep, like vulnerable positions.
Yeah,
it's even helpful at dealing with barrier stuff. Like I've crusher balled my fair share of like any Lazas or Kami Power Piccolos. It allows you to potentially deal with those.
Yep, the only terrible one you feel about crusher balling is Vegito, and it's just like,
yeah, but even in the worst case scenario, it's like a pseudo negate.
It is. Not that, definitely not denying that, but it's like, when your opponent drops at all cost Vegeta, and it's like, okay, crusher ball. It's like,
because you're afraid of them triple striking you, but then they don't even have to put themselves in the weird life predicament.
I mean, yeah, it's if they're using it to self-awaken, it's like, okay, you're gonna rip 2 cards, yeah, I guess. Or it's like, if I answer this at all cost Vegeta, do you have another one next turn to triple strike me?
Yeah.
If you bad ring my crusher ball, I'm gonna Whis you. Like, you know.
Yeah.
They typically only leave 1 negate up. I mean, 1 yellow up for 1 negate, and it's like, you have crusher ball come into play. Either you fall into a crusher ball, you could also potentially fall into a Whis. So it's like a double negate because, you know, we're not in combo phase yet. But yeah, crusher ball with cell leader, just really, really good. You know, it's like, okay, I'm gonna drop a big bomb on 5. It's like your bomb just got blown up. You just wasted your whole turn.
Yep, and then yeah, I mean, and then they'll have the button untap, but I mean, you're playing the same type of game, and then ideally you get to your Princess Speed and your Dragon Fist, and they're just playing. You're playing basically a turn ahead of them, and there is obviously an answer to Crusher Ball. Well, 2 answers, I guess. One being Battering Laser, which only certain decks really play. Like Hercule doesn't really see a lot of yellow main deck stuff, mostly in the side deck, and then U7 Frieza with Victory Strike, they do play several Batterings in the main deck, and that's just kind of unfortunate situation if you get your Crusher Ball Battering. But if you have double yellow up, you can Crusher Ball the 5-drop. They can battering you, and that's like, okay, whatever, they battering you. And then if you have the second Crusher Ball for when they evolve into the mid level 8-drop, then you still answered Victory Strike, which is really good, and they're not going to be able to really resolve double battering. So no, that's a pretty good scenario for it.
Well, also on the if they're doing it on turn 5, they have to tap out for the initial play, I believe.
Yeah, if they're doing it on 5 energy, yeah, they have to tap out, so they can't even respond. They can't even respond with battering.
Yeah, so you just Crusher Ball it before they restand the 1 energy anyways.
Yeah, and this strategy becoming like somewhat more popular to main deck yellow is like, yeah, these decks can main deck Killy Zone, but it actually becomes very bricky for them. And we actually saw this weekend at the Orlando Regional, a Hercule player lost because he just bricked too much on extra cards. So they can do that. They can answer potentially counterplays, but it could come at a cost to like their deck's consistency. So there's a lot of give and take to it.
Yeah, and then hopefully you have enough advantage if you do go to combos to out-combo them.
Yeah, because like for Victory Strike, they're ditching cards to battering you, so ideally their combos are going down, things like that.
Yeah, and then if you're swinging with like Demigod, you're just putting pressure on them to move more and more cards from their hand. You know, so it's less of a huge, you know, hopefully it won't be that big of a Victory Strike swinging at you.
Yep. Yeah, so my favorite card in the deck, I think at this point going forward, is definitely going to be Demigod. I'm pretty excited to see how that card works out for us. But yeah, so I mean that's basically the whole deck profile. Any final wrap-up thoughts on the deck or anything like that?
It's gonna be it's an interesting thing. I like the deck and how it plays. It's good to see how, or I'm kind of excited to see how it's gonna go set 5.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Gogeta replacing Prince of Speed, potentially going into the, you know, taking out the sneak attack Vegetas for hard drop the 3-drop Gotenks is coming out.
Yeah, the quick thinking, that card's so super good.
Oh yeah, I know. Crit, draw, and swing. It's like a mini Kefla.
Yeah.
I think those are gonna be the major changes that's gonna happen to the deck. Fu Shrouded, I'm actually excited to see now because you put out so many threats on board with, you know, like turn 5 Princess Speed, turn 6 Dragon Fist. It's like if you don't swing with them, Dragon Fist has barrier, and then it's like, okay, my Fu Shrouded is going to guarantee these attacks are at least going to combo phase, and then either your hand's gone or you lose the game.
Yeah,
like that. I mean that's just how I lost pretty much most of my matchups when I was playing this deck. Is like my opponent has double to triple negate on the kill turn. It's like, okay, I have 2 cards left in deck. That ain't good.
What do I do? Yeah, no, for sure. Cool. Well, thank you for showing us your super unique deck. Much appreciated. I know a lot of people will be excited to see this. So yeah, thank you so much again. And so we're going to be dropping our Discord server link down in the description below. So definitely check that out when you guys get a second. It's super awesome. We talk about everything Dragon Ball Super related. Larry is super active in that. He oftentimes gives people a lot of advice on their decks, so definitely check that out. Definitely share this video with your friends. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet, because we're going to be running a massive giveaway for set 5. Once I get some set 5 boxes, we're going to be doing a giveaway of a set 5 box, some play mats, some event packs, tournament packs, things like that. Definitely check that out. My name is Joey. This is Crossfit TCG, and I will see you next time.